I didn't know a few stains could prove someone's innocence. I was 18. It was an arranged marriage. Our families agreed before we even met. My mother said he was educated, disciplined, and came from a respectable home. I trusted her. I thought marriage was about care, laughter, and quiet companionship, not about judgment and tests. His name was Aaron. On our wedding day, he looked calm but distant, polite with guests, respectful with elders. Yet his eyes carried a weight I couldn't read. Maybe it was pressure, or maybe anger, but something in him felt heavy. The ceremony was beautiful, but when the last guest left and I stepped into my new room, perfection vanished. The room was decorated with flowers, candles, and a white cloth carefully spread across the bed. I didn't understand why it was there. When Aaron entered, he didn't smile. His eyes looked sharp, uneasy. He didn't sit beside me gently or ask if I was comfortable. Instead, he stood still for a few seconds and said in a low, firm voice, "It's a tradition in our family." I frowned. "What tradition?" He pointed at the white cloth. "It's how they prove a woman's innocence." I stared at him, unable to speak. I thought maybe he was joking, but his face was serious, almost tense. The room suddenly felt colder. When I whispered, "Aaron, that's cruel," he didn't reply. He looked away and breathing heavily. That night, I wished he would talk to me, hold my hand, tell me it was okay, but instead, he was rough, angry, distant. He didn't speak softly, didn't ease my fear, didn't see me as someone who was scared. It felt like he was proving something to his family, not sharing a moment with his wife. I felt small. I felt unseen, like an object expected to fulfill a ritual. The silence was louder than anything I'd ever heard. He did everything so aggressively, treating me like an object, not his wife. There was shame, regret, pain, and embarrassment hidden in his eyes, but he buried them behind his silence. When he saw the stain on the white sheet, he froze. His eyes filled with tears he didn't want to show. That night, he sat on the sofa in regret, while I lay there broken inside. I could hear him breathing hard, almost regretfully, but he didn't say a word. That night changed everything. Morning came like a stranger. His mother and aunties knocked on the door. "Bring the cloth out," they said. Aaron hesitated, but he obeyed. His mother looked at it, smiled proudly, and showed it to the family as if it were some kind of honor. Everyone praised, celebrated, and congratulated. But I sat on the bed silent, broken, and numb. No one noticed my tears. No one cared that my heart was hurting. That day, I realized that traditions can kill a soul in silence, and people will still call it culture. Days passed. Aaron and I barely spoke. He slept on the sofa. I slept on the bed. His mother watched me like I was something to display, not a person to care for. Every word she said reminded me that I wasn't a wife. I was just the proof of their pride. But one night, I saw Aaron standing near the window, staring outside. His shoulders were shaking. He was crying. I didn't move, but he turned and said quietly, "Janity, I'm sorry." Those 3 words broke something inside me, not in pain this time, but in relief. He said, "I didn't know what I was doing that night. I just did what they told me. I thought I had to. But when I saw you crying, I felt ashamed." Tears rolled down my cheeks. I didn't hate him in that moment. I saw a man trapped between fear and tradition, just like I was trapped between silence and shame. The next morning, I woke up to the smell of something burning. I ran to the kitchen and found Aaron trying to make breakfast. He turned, embarrassed. "I wanted to do something right this time," he said softly. It was a simple meal, toast and eggs, but to me, it felt like an apology in the shape of breakfast. That day, we finally talked. He admitted he'd always believed what his family said, that honor depended on proof. That culture came before emotion. But it's wrong, he said. You don't prove purity. You live it. You feel it. I didn't answer, but for the first time, I smiled. That night, he didn't sleep on the sofa. He sat beside me, quietly holding my hand. We didn't talk much, but in that silence, something healed. Weeks later, his mother once again made a proud remark about the white cloth tradition. Aaron stood up and said firmly, "That's not something to be proud of, Mom. It's something to be ashamed of. No woman should ever go through that again." The whole family went silent. His mother looked shocked, but he didn't stop. He said, "I hurt her once because of you. I won't let you hurt anyone else." That day, I saw strength in him, not the kind of strength that follows rules, but the kind that breaks them when they're wrong. That evening, he brought me a small bracelet. It said, "You are not a test, you are a person." He looked at me and said, "I'll spend the rest of my life making sure no one ever treats you like that again." I cried, but this time, they were tears of peace. Months passed, and our bond grew gentle and real. He learned to listen. I learned to trust again. We shared meals, stories, and silence that finally felt warm. He told me, when our children grow up, they'll never even know what a white cloth means, because we'll end it here. And he did. I still remember that night, not to relive the pain, but to remind myself how far we've come. Because purity was never about proof. It was about how gently we can love and how strongly we can stand against cruelty, even when it hides behind the word tradition. One act of courage can stop the same pain from reaching another innocent soul.